Well, good morning. Welcome. Welcome to a new day today. And the possibility of exploring via the process of conscious dying how we might birth a new earth, how we might redefine ourselves as humans, how we might share in community, a global community, a paradise that we build. This is the idea that we take back our authority. Most all of us have grown up in cultures where we were expected to give our authority to parents, teachers, government, church, these different structures, these different organizations that seemingly knew better than we did how to live. Well, in my opinion, the time is appropriate to question these authorities, to assert our authority when it comes to the care of our body and our person. It's my belief that our own higher self, mine named Sun King, has a much better ability, a much better access to power, true power, than does any external authority that I've experienced. So I do believe deeply, and this is what my life has been devoted to and is devoted to, has been to explore new systems, new ways of living. And being that this is a new development, trusting in that openness, that feminine vulnerability to not know, to not need to control all aspects of life, but allow life itself to show us, to teach us. One of the key ideas in the acronym of OASIS, oneness arising from stillness, inspiring simplicity, is that if we are truly filled with the abundance that comes from oneness, that comes from the unmanifested, that comes from the timeless realm, this abundance informs us in a way that we can live simply. We're no longer seeking to find these values, these principles of truth, beauty, and love. We have these. We have total access to these powerful elements, principles of life. And so therefore we don't need to achieve, to accomplish certain things that have been conditioned into our brain that would bring us love, that would bring us peace, that would bring us beauty and truth. We have these. These elements are part of our inheritance. And so there's a great line from A Course in Miracles that says, to have, give all to all. Okay, so we possess these powerful principles. They are, again, part of what we are as spiritual beings. Again, homo glimulus, we've moved into another realm of being where we're no longer denying and projecting these principles elsewhere. When you deny beauty, as part of your own inheritance, part of your own being, and you seek it elsewhere, this creates a more complicated life. When you deny truth, that you have perfect access to truth, and project it elsewhere, you spend a lot of time and energy, resources, seeking truth. Okay, so this is part of the dilemma that we're coming out of as egoic beings. The egoic structure was designed to deny and project these principles away. And then we would spend our lifetimes seeking. Okay, so again, imagine a life without seeking. Imagine a life where you possess these qualities, that they're easily manifested all around you, because if you have, this power allows you to give, meaning to extend these qualities all around you. So everywhere you look, you have the ability to see beauty. Everywhere you walk, you have the ability to experience love, because love's presence is in you. Okay, so when back in 1999, when with a few others, we began this OASIS Center for Conscious Living back in Minnesota, we used John Lennon's song Imagine as a keystone in our imagining this new earth. So imagine with me, because for me, this has become a reality, that I live in perfect harmony with truth, beauty, and love. These principles, these elements of life are fully available every day. And in paradise, every day is the same. Okay, it's because this is again what a new earth represents, this paradise where these qualities are so evident that the essence of life is present always. There's no more denial, projection, seeking. It's here now. Great line in A Course in Miracles says, heaven is here, there's no other place. Heaven is now, there's no other time. So this is my invitation to you, that we live in this paradise, that we actually shift our consciousness to the recognition of this paradise. Wherever we are, doesn't require that we're sharing the same space on planet Earth. We actually develop a community where we are one with each other. We are connected with each other, regardless of space and time. Space and time don't no longer are a reality that is an interference pattern with truth, beauty, love, spiritual power that is our inheritance. Like the song Imagine, we no longer acknowledge any governmental agencies as having power over us. We live as sovereign beings. We no longer see any church, any religious organization as having authority over us. As sovereign beings, we get to choose the way that we live. We no longer allow any medical agencies, organizations that would tell us how we should live or have to live. This is a very clear choice that each of us have in this time, where there is going to be this increasing pressure to give up total authority and allow yourself to be controlled, literally told pretty much every little detail of your life being dictated to you. It's a choice. As sovereign beings, we don't recognize or allow any of these agencies to dictate to us how we live. So conscious dying involves a few very key elements. One is our relationship with external authority. Again, conscious dying addresses our tribal and egoic nature and dies to that as being the deciding factor how we live. So very important in the months ahead that you think about and consider these two very distinct alternatives. In one alternative, you literally have zero or almost zero power. And in the other alternative, you have more or less total power, at least as a community together, we wield this power. We don't have to think of ourselves as individuals so much as a community of beings that agree to work together, to build together, to grow together, our community, and ride the storm, because no doubt there is a storm. And like I've said, I think for the next 10 years, those of us that choose to ride the storm together, and, again, the more you're able to extract yourself from the storm, this is why I'm in Ecuador. It's one of the very safest, most insulated places on Earth. Very easy to live here without involvement with any government, with any church, with anything. We can basically choose how we live, especially here on this piece of land. We can live in total harmony with nature, beauty. We can abide by these principles that are all about truth and love. We can collectively live, more or less for free, no bills, no jobs. Again, the idea is that by aligning ourselves with these principles, abundance is manifested to the degree that our lives become literally, the great line from the Bible that says, at play in the fields of the Lord, that we are meant to live as free and happy as children, because everything is given to us. We are taken care of by true power, by true authority that comes from the timeless realm, that comes from the unmanifested, that comes from God. We are guaranteed this care to live without fear, to live without anxiety, to live without depression, to live without any of these lower vibratory realities. They no longer exist for us. Okay? We choose a life of ease, but we are supported in expressing our maximum or maximal creativity. And in this, we find our joy. Okay, creativity, just like you see in children, to be solely supported in giving to the world your highest gift of creativity. This is a joyful way to live. And I've always paid attention to a variety of organizations like an artist colony or whatever, an organization that's set up to really support each member of that community to give his or her highest artistic expression. And so they're taken care of. They don't have to think about their food. They don't have to think about their clothes. They don't have to think about money. They don't have to think about any of those things. So that's truly the way we choose to live here. And I would encourage everyone to consider, again, this idea that life can be abundant if what you're enjoying is all free, right? Nature, basically, for those of us that choose to live where we have access to nature, nature gives us this incredible beauty. Nature shows us this incredible power, this infinite abundance. And then we simply learn to adapt our human life to be in alignment with nature. It's like, again, many humans have created circumstances where they're so out of alignment with nature that they have to struggle to be comfortable. They have to have heating systems and cooling systems and food production systems and all of these systems that generally are far removed from their own personal activities. So they found themselves in a prison where they're just paying for all of these services, where native peoples have always lived simply in harmony with nature, harmony, or the nature that, again, is infinitely abundant. So no need for heating systems, cooling systems, food production systems. So again, the world, and I've talked before about this Luciferic principle, it appears that these forces of evil are going to basically bring everybody to this critical choice, conscious dying, where you can extract yourself from the prison, or the other type of dying, which I guess you could call unconscious dying, where basically you're just pushed into your extermination in not a very pleasant way. So again, part of what we offer here is, even for those people as they are in their final years, a way to enjoy those final years and be cared for and do their transition in a very beautiful way, again, in harmony with nature, without technology interfering, without medical protocols interfering. Again, this is part of what it is to be a sovereign being, where you say, no, thank you. I would choose to do things in a way where I hold the authority for my life and for the transition of my body and person out of this life. Okay. Again, we have that choice. I am inviting you to consider that choice. And wherever you are in the world, joining together in community where we support each other and help each other, guide each other forward in our journey as individuals and as a species. We are the ones. We are the ones that we've been calling for. We are the ones that are called into leadership to be truly the architects and designers of this new earth. And choose, I'll be raising my daughter in this new earth. She'll be homeschooled, and all children will be homeschooled in the future it'll be just, again, a new paradigm, but a paradigm that's not so far removed from the way Native peoples have always lived. So we're taking the best from that tribal history of our ancestors. We're taking the best from our egoic mental strategies that have produced the technologies that can serve us today, including the technology that allows us to communicate globally with such great ease and no expense. Again, these are the things that, all of the things, if you think about all the elements that will bring our community and us forward, all of those elements exist today. We're not like having to invent something new. We're just integrating from the best of our former species. Homo erectus, the tribal mind, Homo sapien, the egoic mind, and now here we are, Homo glimius, stepping into this new paradigm, building a new earth, creating heaven on earth, our paradise. So I invite you, I'll continue to invite you to participate. Tell everyone that you know that's like-minded enough to consider this as our highest achievement as humans thus far, to step into this awakened consciousness and share it, live it. It's no longer about giving talks and writing books and whatever. We have all of that knowledge. We have all of that guidance available to us. Now it's about living it. How do we live it? Thank you for this opportunity every day to be with you, sharing this amazing opportunity. I love you.